Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I've lived in this house now for 12 years. Almost exactly 12 years. And in that time, I have had exactly two solicitors. Two adult solicitors. We've had some children come sell candy or whatever, but that doesn't count. Two solicitors, and last night was one of them. We were sitting down for dinner. I made steak hoagies and tater tots, and we noticed this man come walking down our street on his phone, and then just kind of comes up my sidewalk, goes back. Like, what is this guy doing? And eventually he comes up and rings the doorbell, drives my dog crazy, whatever. I open the door, and he starts his spiel. And now, this was a little bit serendipitous because he was a guy from a pressure washing company. And he's like, hey, I just did this guy's house down the street, and I've been looking for another neighbor. Like the whole thing, right? I've been looking for a lucky neighbor to take advantage of one of our special offers. And I was, looking at your house, and it needs, it looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a while, and we can blah, 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 blah. He's right. I've lived here for 12 years and I've never washed my house. And specifically on the front of the house, when the builders built this, when this house was built, it was built as like a slab front. The builders who put it in added a dormer and a porch that wasn't there, and an extension on the dining room that wasn't in the original plans. Wasn't part of the original house. They added that on, which meant that it added a bunch of shaded areas on the front of my house that don't see sunlight. So I have some moss starting to take hold and some like algae growth on the side, like where the dormer is. The gutters are, I've never washed the house. But literally, like this past weekend, on Saturday, I purchased the cleaning solution, like the house cleaning solution for my pressure washer. I own a pressure washer. I own a little pressure washer. Very important if you're going to pressure wash your house that you do not buy like the highest PSI pressure washer you can. And you could actually like damage your seals, and like you can damage the siding with a pressure washer if you try. So anyway, I have a little electric pressure washer. It doesn't put out enough pressure to damage anything. It does a really good job. I just have never cleaned the house. So I bought that on Saturday. Last week, Malia pressure washed the driveway. So the driveway looks fantastic. The sidewalk needs done again. But anyway, this dude, it took like 10 minutes of my time. Like he was one of those fast talkers that just would not let me tell him to please go away. Like I said, I'm good. And he kept going. I'm good. No, thank you. Like I don't need this right now. And it kind of drove me a little bit crazy, but at the same time, like, if he'd have said $200, I'd have bought it. I'd have been like, sure, do my house. Like, because I'm going to have more than 4 hours of my time. If I do client work, I charge $50 an hour. Go for it. Have at it. But he didn't. It wasn't $200. He wanted $450 or something to do my house. And then he said, "Oh, well, I see you have your own. Like, I won't do the front porch and the front walk, and we'll do it for $350." And I'm like, "Nah, no, I'm good." But it was a weird experience because 12 years. The last time, I mean, it's been at least. Let's see. Malia's been in my life for 8 years now, 6 years now. 2018, 6 years. So it's been at least that long since we've had there's never been a solicitor since she's lived here. But we used to see them quite often. We used to get insurance people and well, that was the main one, honestly. Insurance people. We used to get college kids that are selling books, like some sort of study guide books, trying to, promote, I don't know, books. Like they would sell these reference books, but like I have the internet. I don't need your book. Very strange stuff. But I haven't seen that in a long, long time. When I was a kid, I can remember people coming around to my parents' house trying to sell them all kinds of stuff. Car washing methods and insurances and bonds and whatever else. It's just not a thing. And I was curious. It seems like this is this a uniquely American thing? Going to Europe, I knew before I went to Europe last year that Europeans are very much like, leave me alone. You don't, your server doesn't come talk to you and ask you how things are going. They don't ask you if you want refills. They don't, you order your food and they disappear. And if you want them, you have to flag them down. Like, nobody says hi to you when you're walking down the street. Nobody, I mean, there's no communication. And so I can't imagine that solicitation is a thing in Europe. Is it? I'm really curious. Like, it seems genuinely like an American invention. Like, let me travel door to door through this neighborhood and try and make sales on stuff that people don't need. The fact is, I need a house wash. I just wasn't willing to pay the price that he was asking because I have the equipment to do it myself. I'm going to do it. I have the full intention of doing it myself within the next week. So that was, but it was interesting to say the least. I guess we used to get, I mean, do you consider like Mormons solicitors? I don't think we've had Mormons show up at this house. Maybe we did. They definitely showed up at the old house. I don't know if that's solicitation or not. Are they selling their religion? Is that, do you have to sell to be a solicitor? Oh, these are your questions. Anyway, I guess, not only do I feel like not only am I curious about is this an American thing or not, but like, do you get solicitors at wherever you live? Is it a common thing? I don't think it is anymore. I think that those days have passed, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just because I live in a place where solicitors can't really make a living. The population density here is pretty small. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is wayfaring. It's an adjective meaning traveling on foot. We spent many wayfaring weekends during our month-long jaunt in France last year. Wayfaring, W-A-Y-F-A-R-I-N-G. That makes total sense. For some reason, I always thought wayfaring was just traveling. Like you could wayfare on boat, but no, that'd be seafaring. I didn't necessarily know that it meant on foot.